IFSCL is an amazing indie game created by Immudelki, based on what has been one of my favorite TV shows since I was a kid, called Lyoko. About a month ago, Immu released a trailer showing off IFSCL's version 4.0.x. What secrets could it be hiding? Did Immu leave us any hints to find the secrets that are coming in later versions? Let's see if we can find out. The IFSCL version 4.0.x trailer was released about a month ago on December 4th, 2019. It showed off many stunning visuals, some that were familiar to us, but others that weren't. So let's analyze. This animation is already actually in the game, under the Lyoko Connect command. As you can see, it looks about the same. My sources tell me that liaison is just French for link, so I actually went through this entire trailer translating about everything I could see that was in French, and it pretty much matches up with the English version of what you'd expect that window to be. So no secrets there. Not much to note here. This sector's window is already available in the latest version 3.8.8 by going to Link and then clicking on the Sectors tab. A little known fact is that you can check the status of a sector by typing sector and the dot and then the sector name. So if I wanted to pull up the status of the desert sector like in the trailer, all I need to do is type in sector.desert, like so. Now we get our first look at something new, Ailide's original outfit from season 1 through 3. Very exciting to finally see that. Now this is very interesting. We can see the Return to the Past window in the background of the CD-ROM window. Maybe this has something to do with the rumor that we will be able to use the Return to the Past more often than the cooldown normally allows, but with a drawback. Perhaps that drawback requires the use of the CD-ROM. Next, looking at the text box of the CD-ROM window, we can see it loading programs. This is actually visible in the current version, but something does stand out. It says loading CD programs twice, instead of the one time it shows in the current version. This is probably just to hide information from us that Immu doesn't want us to see yet. The CD-ROM window also looks like it's giving us our first glimpse of creating our own programs for the supercomputer, or rather having to do some kind of puzzle to gain access to certain programs. It also says that the materialization program is incompatible with the selected OS, which may explain something that happens later in the trailer. Loading remote at the bottom could be a reference to the remote access to the supercomputer that is later touched on in this trailer. Ah yes, we finally get to see all the original outfits, even William's outfit that he had on for like a whole 5 minutes in the series. This is a bit more eye candy for the new outfits, as well as the beautiful 3D models Immu created for this scanning sequence. Looks great. It seems this window might actually affect how the supercomputer runs instead of just being a window for visuals, so hopefully that will be coming in the next version. Got some more eye candy, nice to see. Looks the same as the other one to me so far, nothing's changed. Now this might have to do with one of the rumors about being able to get around certain countdowns such as the one for the Return to the Past by rearranging parts of the supercomputer, albeit with some downsides. But we aren't really going to know what those downsides are until the game gets released. Well, it was marked incompatible, but with this test failing it could explain something that is actually pointed out later in the trailer as well. Alright, now this is where things get really in-depth. I won't go over every single thing we see on this list, just the highlights. So you can see surveillance right there. And when I first saw this, I got very, very excited because Immu has been working on so many 3D models of Earth and different characters that it might just be possible to have surveillance cameras around the factory work, finally. So we can see our favorite Lyoko warriors head straight to the elevator and get in the scanners. Next is factory cams. Yet another reason to think we might be able to use cameras in the upcoming version. Virtual cloning. At first I thought, what? We're going to finally be able to Jeremify someone? But realistically, it probably just means the cloning we use to save Lyoko warriors from the Guardian. Code. This also seems to support the idea that there will be some way to code in this version. SAT planification. I'm not 100% sure what this could be, as SAT control is right above it, so it's probably nothing to control satellites, but maybe it's a way to actually fire the satellites? Not really sure yet. Deep locator. This could be a way to locate William on the network when he's Xanified. I can't really personally think of anything else it could really be, but if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear them. Leave them in the comments. And finally, security map. This could be an overview map of the factory itself, which would let us play with the interface that we will most likely use when we finally see teleportation added to the game. But as far as I know, teleportation will not be in this next version, so don't get your hopes up. If you look at just the right frame, you can see it says boot and Lyoko, so we can kind of guess that it says reboot Lyoko. So it looks like we'll actually have to take the CD from our inventory and put it into the supercomputer to actually use the reboot Lyoko command. This is just a city map. It looks about the same as the current version. I don't think anything's really different. This is our first look at what the gameplay will actually look like when we aren't at the supercomputer console, and shows off what the world around us will look like. It looks absolutely stunning, and I think Imu did an amazing job on it. As for story here, it seems that some of the story will be told in the past, like when Jeremy first discovered the supercomputer. With Aelita's materialization program failing earlier in the trailer, and him being in the supercomputer room now, and what happens later in the trailer, it just kind of makes sense to me. This could be a few things, really. At first I zoomed in and I saw, oh, those are both Jeremy, so we might be able to make a polymorphic clone, which could still be the case, but the second Jeremy's outfit doesn't seem right. Its darker tone of clothes, it looks more like something Xana is sending to attack Jeremy. Now, some people have said that this is the blue Return to the Past. I very much disagree. I believe this is a big ball of electricity from the prequel episodes, and that it's either knocking Yumi out or killing her outright. Now, I do have evidence to back this up. In Umu's room in version 3.8.8, if you go down to the supercomputer room, you can actually see Yumi lying on the floor with blood spattered about. While she is in a different outfit here, things in Umu's room are experimental and not always final. So it's entirely possible that this is what we were seeing and he just decided to change her outfit. Our first look at the 3D model of Katic Imu made, and Millie in the background. It's freaking awesome. We also have Sissy, Nicholas, and Herb's models, which Imu livestreamed making all of them, I believe. And this is something I totally missed my first few times through this trailer. Jeremy is standing at the sewer grate in the forest at night, alone. It's actually pretty normal for the show, except the fact that he's alone, which kind of ties back to it being part of the prequel episodes. This is what I have been referring to this entire video. Aelita is on Lyoko. The materialization program isn't working. There's the connection window from earlier as well. And Jeremy has been mostly alone this entire time, except for that scene with Yumi probably dying. But what does this all mean? Well, as I said earlier, I think the first chapter of the game, or maybe first few chapters, will focus on how they all met and how Jeremy discovered the supercomputer. So it'll be based on the prequel episodes. Now, this is just a theory, and all I have to back it up is what you've seen so far, and my own gut. But I think it does hold some ground. I'm very excited for IFSCL's version 4.0.x release in the coming weeks, and I hope to live stream it, finding all the exciting features and secrets hidden in the next version live. Thanks for watching.